If you've tuned in to see if you can argue with your spouse and still be madly in love, you're in the right spot.
I'm Kent.
And I'm Annie.
And we're the
Kilkos.
Sounds like a game show.
We're your host of Life's Little Arguments. We're not trained experts in love and marriage. Actually, we might be quite dysfunctional, but we have been happily married for 16 years.
Debatable.
Not only will we share all the ups and downs of marriage, but the ins and outs of raising his and her kids, growing through new jobs and opportunities, and our latest obsession, our empty nest babies, our dogs, Blakely and Lincoln.
So if you hear ding, ding, ding across the microphone, they're probably walking across the floor.
Listen in each week while we discuss our life, current events, random TikToks, and the little arguments that undoubtedly come up. Whether you're in a long-term relationship yourself or in a fresh new relationship, we hope you find our podcast fun, entertaining, and helps you realize there is a normal in life's little arguments. All right, and I think we are finally live.
We are live.
This
Hey,
has
babe.
been... Hey, babe.
What's up?
This has been frustrating.
Yeah,
Oh, my God.
This new software program's kicking her ass a little bit, but we're here. You can hear us, and this is our third episode on Life's Little Arguments with the Kilkos. I'm pretty stoked about it, to be honest with you.
Wait, hold on. Is this our third?
Our third. It is our third. What do you think it is?
Well, okay.
Time
yeah.
flies when you're having fun.
No, I guess it is a third. Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Lot going on. Tell me something that happened to you this week, since you asked me that question last week.
I asked you that.
Yeah, we got into the roofing and all that other stuff. I'm scared of heights, all that other good stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's no way I said, tell me what happened this week. That sounds
No,
so
but you were like, well, tell
cheesy.
me. You were like, something happened to you this week. I don't know.
I think we redid that intro and we
Oh.
cut that out.
Okay, well.
Okay, anyway, we'll tell you something that happened to me
Sure.
this week. I went to get my hair done and I made a huge mistake. I regret very much right now. And I cut it.
Yeah, well, you didn't cut it.
Well,
you had it cut, yeah.
Clearly,
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
cut it, but I made the decision to have several inches chopped off, and it is swinging right around my shoulders at this point, and I hate it.
I'm just curious to know, because we've always had a slight disagreement with this. How much of your hair length, because you said inches, how many inches would you say you got cut off of your hair?
I would say probably. I mean, are we comparing?
You tell me. We
Like-
have always disagreed a little on this, so
I mean, I think
how many inches is that you're holding
that
up right now?
is 3 inches.
Okay. If that's 3 inches, I'll take it. Yep, you got 3 inches cut off.
You don't think that's 3 inches?
No, that probably is 3 inches.
Yeah,
I think it's a little bit more, but yeah, sure. No, okay, good. Well, your hair still looks good.
But you tried to tell me that's 6 inches.
No, I try to tell you to double that, and that's 6 inches. No.
So anyway, I think any lady out there listening can probably relate. I hate it. I hate it. It was a bad decision. It was a poor decision. It was a good decision from the standpoint of it felt very like scraggly and
Yeah,
thin,
yeah.
and so I needed to get it cut.
Something's got to change. I feel like it's been falling off more in the shower lately, so.
Well, yeah, but cutting is not going to help it stop falling out.
You don't think so?
No.
Oh,
Why
okay.
would you think cutting it?
Well, I don't know.
is
It
gonna
just
help
seems healthier if you got it shorter, cut it shorter.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not a
Agreed.
hairstylist. But
I agree because we are cutting off dead hair at the bottom, but the fact that I'm cutting hair, why would it make it stop falling out of my scalp?
It seems to me if it's unhealthy at the end, that would cause it to fall out of the scalp. But again, I don't know. I'm no expert in this area. I just know that the frequency in which I have had to pull hair out of the drain in the last handful of months seems to be increasing for whatever reason.
Which is reason number
Probably perimenopause.
835 as to why I need you
probably
around.
perimenopause.
It's
I'm
no
being for real.
doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
What did you say? That's number reason what you need me around? Okay.
Reason 835 that I need you around
That's fair.
to clean the hair out of the
It's
drain.
it's actually what's the word?
It is not satisfying. It's
Satisfying. I was thinking
disgusting.
rewarding, but not setting. It's satisfying. The noise, the cleanliness afterwards.
You're nasty.
Yeah.
You're nasty.
Yeah. Well, you've never done it, so you don't know.
I have had to sort of kind of do it. Matter of fact, I tried to be helpful and pull some of it out that looked like it was just sitting there, and it was like I thought it was going to be easy.
Okay.
Wrong. It was attached
Yeah.
to some deeper stuff.
It's like a spider web, basically.
And it
Yeah.
was getting the Kleenex wet, and I started to actually want to vomit.
So what'd you do with it?
Well, I pulled what I could out, and before I puked, I threw it in the trash can.
Good for you.
And I gave up.
I'm surprised you did that. I'm surprised I didn't sit on the little ledge, to be honest. TBH. TBH, I'm surprised I didn't sit on the ledge, but we digress.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
seriously.
you got your hair cut short.
Anyway,
I still think
I got
it looks
my hair
great.
cut short, and it's horrible. I hate it. It's, but I'm not allowed to talk about it because you screamed at me the other day because all I simply said was
Yeah.
I wasn't complaining.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it's a complaint, but it's
Yeah.
also a fact
Yeah.
that with it this length, because my hair has some curl to it,
Yeah.
with this length, as soon as I walk out of the house, it frizzes up from the humidity. Now, this is different because when it's a little bit longer, it doesn't frizz to this
Sure.
it doesn't frizz that quickly, but
Sure.
as soon as I walk out of the house, it frizzes up. And so,
So-
that was that's just something I noticed.
This seems like a good segue.
And I said it out loud, and you screamed at me.
No, okay, so thank you. It was building. Listen, this is a good segue. I
It
know
was
what.
building.
Yes, I know one of the things you wanted to talk about was. I think we were going to say because listen, the name of this podcast is Life's Little Arguments with the Kilkas, and we have not argued yet. So, and honestly, it's almost like we start this podcast called Life's Little Arguments, and then it's like.
We quit arguing.
Right. Anyways, we still do, obviously. But one of the things you wanted to bring up on here is we were going to give one. Are we going to do one? Or are we going to do multiple pet peeves? Like, what is your ongoing or current pet peeve? Because it changes, I know.
For me, it does change. And I had let me see. It's in my phone because I started
It must not be that
No,
that
it's
bad,
bad.
if you
It's bad.
have to look it up.
No, it's bad.
Because I know what mine is off the top of my head.
Okay, well, go ahead
No,
then.
I asked you
no,
first.
you go ahead because that for sure. As soon as you tell me yours,
So,
it's gonna
activate
It's
you.
gonna activate me, and I'm
And
gonna
then you can
remember
realize how
all of
deep you wanna
mine.
cut.
Right.
No, but seriously, this is not a pet. I don't know if it's a pet peeve or not. I think that it's just more relevant though, and I think everybody has to kind of be mindful of this. It's one of these things like once you start down the path of complaining about something, I think it's very easy to continue down that path, and sometimes you don't even realize it. And if, for example, if I wake up in the morning, I'm like, damn, my back is killing me. And then it's my knees killing me. And then and next thing you know, all I'm doing the entire day is complaining about how bad my back hurts. It's almost like you do it. It's a subconscious. You don't even realize it. And I think here recently, you may have kind of been in that little bit of a headspace where I feel like you're doing that a little bit more. And so my frustration came out the other day, and I was like, damn, I mean, if it's not your hair, it's your this. And if it's not this, then it's just like...
I mean, that is
Stop.
fair.
You got to stop at some point. I'm drawing the line right here. I'm going to piss you off with this, but I know that tends to work with you sometimes.
So that's funny that you're saying this now, because when at the time, and I said, stop fucking talking to me. You've made your fucking point.
We didn't make our disclaimer today.
We
by
did
the
not
way.
make our disclaimer.
We
but
cuss on this show.
We cuss on the show. I'm like, you've made your fucking point. I don't need you to talk to me any
Right,
further.
right.
You kept trying to keep going, and I'm like, I shut it down.
Yeah.
And then 5 seconds later, you come back and you're like, but I just want to let you know I'm only saying this because, you feel so confident, blah, blah, blah. And,
Right.
and that's why I wanted to say it. So you didn't say shit about the fact that this has been building and you were
Well,
frustrated.
okay, to my defense, I didn't, because you said you made your fucking point. Shut up. So you pretty much shut it down. So any conversation after that. But the point I was trying to make in all that though was when you were confident and you're like you got that swag and whatever else. Like, to me, there is nothing in this world more sexy than someone who's got that confidence.
Agreed.
And sometimes I think it sways and it moves away, and I'm just trying to get it back is all. That's all it is. They said, what is your number one pet peeve about me? Again, it must not be too easy if you got to go to your notes for it. Just saying.
There's just so many. First of all,
Well, let's just start with one.
Okay, I'm going to start with the one that I know got on my nerves today.
Okay.
We'll just keep
Yeah.
it easy.
And then we're going to go to some light stuff, right?
Yeah, because I literally started making a list and I can't find it on my phone, so that actually is annoying me. So
Wonder who the list person is in our relationship.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, it's at the top. How did I miss
Duh.
that? And I've got
Number one
7
pet
so
peeve.
far.
Okay, wow. Okay.
Actually, these aren't all. Yeah, some of them. Okay, anyway. This one. Oh.
Can you please silence your phone?
Yeah,
we're on a
can't.
damn
We are. I know,
podcast.
sorry.
How unprofessional.
Sorry.
Jeez.
Okay, so the current one is the fact that I don't understand, and it gets on my last nerve, that you want to walk all the way across the house and pee in the spare bathroom instead of peeing in our bathroom. Why? I don't understand it. It drives me crazy. You will wake up in the morning, you will go into the bathroom, you will brush your teeth, and then walk all the way across the house and go to the bathroom.
No, that's
in
the morning.
No,
the morning's the only time it doesn't happen. Because in the morning I go to the bathroom, and then I brush my teeth. So anyhow, okay, it's so funny that bothers you, because it sure enough bothers. Like there's some things, like you'll mention it every now and again. You'll let it say. That is the one thing that your ass is going to say something about it every single time. And I don't know what I drink these energy drinks, and they kind of go through me. And I think it really is just a matter of, I walk to put on some shoes or to get a shirt or whatever.
In our bedroom. In the bathroom.
Correct.
In our bathroom where there's near a toilet.
Okay.
Right there.
Now, what else is on the way to the bathroom? The exit. Because we're probably leaving to go somewhere. And I'm like, well, God, I don't really need a pee. I didn't have to pee 10 seconds ago, but if we're about to leave, we might as well pee. So that's why.
This is bullshit. This is never when we're leaving the house. This is in the middle.
I'll start paying more attention to it.
This is absolutely when you were just in our bathroom.
Sure.
Because the other day you were like, well, sometimes I don't have to pee when we're in our bathroom. But then 5 seconds later, you walk out and realize you have to pee.
Hashtag, it's called getting old. Hashtag, your ass can have a trillion different problems with perimenopause, but let your boy have one fucking problem at 45 years old, and I get harassed about it. That's my one problem.
Okay,
Sorry.
You asked for my pet peeve, and that was it.
Okay,
that's one of them.
That is a legit pet peeve. I don't know that mine was a pet peeve. Mine was constructive. I was trying to give constructive feedback.
Oh my God.
But yours is a real pet peeve.
Yes, please. Every time that you have ever tried to give me constructive constructive feedback.
Different. It's different.
Totally different.
Yeah.
How well has that gone for you?
Believe it or not, in the moment, it's very poor. It goes very, very poorly.
I believe it. I absolutely believe it.
I get the you made your fucking point kind of stuff, but it changes. It does. It's kind of like when I get up in the morning on Saturday and I start putting away dishes, and you're like,
that's so irritating.
Right, but it's irritating because you think that I'm trying to tell you you need to come here and do these dishes.
I do.
Or if I get the vacuum out and I start vacuuming, like you think that that's my way of telling you to come vacuum.
Yeah.
It's really not. I'm really not. I don't mind helping. I don't mind doing all. Obviously we don't have the traditional husband and wife do certain things, whatever. We don't have that. But the point being is it works. So I guess I just maybe continue doing it. So I mean, we've been been like that for so long. I guess it just happens. So.
I am making a stand right now.
Okay.
It will not continue. I will not come in there and feel guilty about doing it next time I see you doing it.
Okay, you're going to change after 48 years. I hope so. Good luck.
Absolutely, going to change.
Good luck with that.
I'm going to change. So anyway,
let's talk about something more positive or something.
Well, it's hard.
Yeah, no, really.
We are at the point
this
now.
This is true life. Yeah, this is what we.
Yeah, and I have gone through a period the last couple days. Speaking of the whole hair thing,
yeah.
I think that's probably where it started for me.
Definitely was.
Is I kind of went into one of my depressive episodes.
Yeah.
And it sounds so bad when you say it out loud like that.
Depression, I think, has such a negative connotation, and I think because when people think depression, or at least when you hear the word, I think someone's picturing someone sitting in a dark room, contemplating life. And there's so many. And again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not professing to be a counselor or anything like that. But when I hear the word depression, that's what it makes me think about is someone sitting there, or used to. I'm sorry. They're contemplating life, but at the end of the day, there's so many different levels of depression.
Yeah, and I can't say that I've really been diagnosed. Like, I have taken, anxiety medicine in the past, but I haven't been on anything like that in over 5 years.
It's been a long time.
So, and maybe they called it more anxiety, and maybe they realized it was somewhat depression. I don't know. Anyway, I feel like I control it for the most part pretty well. But this week it just really got to me, and it got me down. And it got me to a point of I mean, you obviously know, but we went out with our friends on Friday night to have a good time. We were supposed to go hang out with our friends on Saturday for something fun, and I tried my best to rally, and I kind of just spiraled. It took me out of the fun place. I'm not fun to be around. I have FOMO. I want to be there, but I don't want to be there. Yeah. And so that was tough.
It happens. I typically can pick up on
and it's not just the hair, obviously. Like, it's not like I'm depressed about my hair. I mean, I hate it. I don't like it, but that's just a symptom of kind of
everything else.
That just initiated this particular spout. But I gave myself, I would say, a day and a half to wallow, sort of, even though I was still doing stuff.
2 or 3 days.
No, it was not. It started Friday night. I cleaned my ass off. This house is clean on Saturday.
That's true. That's another benefit is she will clean the shit out of a house whenever she's either pissed or upset.
I think, and most women I think probably can agree with that. Yeah. They do their best cleaning when they're mad. But and then we did that. I rallied for a little while on Saturday night, and then this morning I was like, not really feeling it. But you know what? You've wasted an entire day and a half. Yeah. Put your big girl panties on, get your head out of your ass, and get going. And so that's what I've done, and I feel
good.
I'm still a little meh, but
yeah. Well, I'm glad you're here because you needed to be out of it before we got to episode number 3.
Well, true.
For our podcast, which is what we're doing right now.
True.
And if you like what you hear so far, please like and subscribe.
And I think I kept telling people to email us. I don't remember if we even have an email. Oh, we do. Okay.
You're talking about like for topics and stuff? Have you even posted? You hadn't even posted them yet.
Well, no, but I keep telling people they can email us. Yeah, for topics.
Yeah, once we get it posted, we'll start really.
I do. I found on my 8,000 sticky notes I got on my desk. I found it. So, yeah. So anyway, that's kind of where we are at. We did some other fun stuff. We went to see Twister.
Yeah, that was actually a really good movie.
Yeah.
And I fall asleep in movies, and I didn't fall asleep in this one.
No, now let me tell you. Oh boy, Glenn Powell.
Yeah.
He is easy to look at. But I think he's a good actor too, because every movie that I've seen him in, I feel like he has sexual chemistry with his co-star. And is he really just that good? Like, is he that hot, or is he just a good actor?
He's probably just a good actor. Yeah.
Anyway,
he seems like a good dude. You don't hear anything bad about him and all that stuff. So he's probably just a good guy.
Yeah, I think so. That was really good. I enjoyed going to the movie because obviously I love movie theater popcorn. So we did that, and then we watched the original Twister.
Yep.
That was kind of fun to
outside of the graphics, the tornadoes on 1996 version versus 2024 version, completely different. But I didn't realize as we were watching the second Twister, I didn't realize that the storyline was it was almost identical, very, very closely related.
It was pretty close, yeah.
But with the whole Dorothy and the sensors and all the stuff. So anyhow, I enjoyed it, and then I'm glad we watched the original one as well. So
yeah, so that was fun. So we helped with the economy by going to the movie.
Here's the thing.
It was packed too.
I don't know. And first of all, I'm glad to see that because honestly, since COVID, there's probably been like three big hits. But
Okay.
No, I guarantee there's not been no more than 5.
Top Gun.
Maverick was one.
Whatever it was called. Twister, I would say that's a hit. And
maybe arguably Bad Boys, even what we didn't go watch.
We haven't gone to see that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it wasn't a hit. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like we've watched a Christmas movie too.
Okay.
Of some
sort.
I
don't think there's more than 5. Okay. 5 and 4
whatever.
years. So.
5.
But anyhow, so how about the movies? I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's our local theater or what. But you give them the phone number and all this stuff, and they have these like little
the loyalty.
Good God, I feel like we're getting free shit every time we go in there now.
Did we get something free?
Every single because that's why I added that candy onto there, because we got popcorn, Coke, and candy I think it was a
We got
combo
all
number,
that free?
all that for free. The only thing we paid for is when we went and bought popcorn to take home to Lauren.
Yeah.
How crazy is that? I mean,
So
I
we
feel like
went to the
every
movie
single
for
time we get,
$36 because we bought the tickets
Yeah,
online, so there was
yeah.
like a service fee or whatever. But yeah.
yeah,
Well,
it's a lot of companies are starting to do. I feel like when I go to
Yeah.
GNC and I get my protein, I swear it's like $20 or $30 off every single time I go there, and I'm like, I'm not going to turn it down. It's great, but
yeah, as a consumer, I'm happy. As a former business owner, it's very scary.
Yeah.
Like it's extremely scary where we are going at this point. But that's not what we're talking about today.
what are we talking about today?
So I thought we would talk a little bit about the crazy viral post.
Oh, geez,
The thing that happened in our little community.
yeah,
It's not so little. This past week.
yeah.
That our entire, I mean, we
Won't mention any names because we don't want to. We don't
No,
want
absolutely
to
not.
perpetuate the.
But you literally had to been living under a rock to not know what was going on. And that was me because I wasn't on Facebook. I had no idea what was going on until a group chat that I was in, somebody said, "Hey, have you guys seen all this stuff?" And I was like, "No, I don't know what you're talking about." And then of course they send the post and it was like, holy moly.
Yeah.
It was insane. So basically, without using any kind of names or anything like that, basically one woman posted her text conversation or whatever with the other woman who, it's an ex of an ex.
Yeah.
And the woman had said something about derogatory, basically about the child, and keep your child, whatever. Your bastard child.
Yeah.
Can we say that?
Don't send that bastard child over here to say
Yeah.
hey again or something.
say hey
Some
again.
craziness.
Anyway, and oh my God, it popped off.
Yeah.
People were, you talk about some opinions.
Yeah.
There were a lot of opinions.
Out
So
of
what
the
did
woodwork.
you think about?
It was wrong, first of all. It was wrong on so many levels, right? I mean, obviously, anytime you bring a child into the situation, it doesn't matter who you are. Any kind of crap talk about that is just off limits, right? But I think secondary to that is Facebook every now and again will rear its ugly head where people will bring personal stuff into Facebook, and then it's just you got your army on one side and you got your army on the other side, and then it's such a no-win situation.
It absolutely is.
It's really no place for it at all. It exploded, I think, a lot more even than...
I think it went viral.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, I think somebody had posted at one point, like, I think somebody searched it on Google, and, like, people in other states were seeing it at this point. Like, it was crazy. And, to the point, I think the girl, man, you talk about bullying.
Well, yeah, that's a good point.
That's very sad also.
And I think that's what the problem with the internet in situations like that is. This girl ended up getting bullied. I think she was getting threats, and like serious threats. People were posting her address, her phone number, and like that shit's just you cannot do that. It's uncalled for. But you get these people that are all big and bad behind a keyboard, and they want to talk all the trash, and then they just build on it. It's such an unfortunate situation. And it's easy to say, well, she was in the wrong, she was. She was.
Yeah, she was. The whole I know there's going to be two sides to every story.
Three sides
yeah,
to every
absolutely.
story.
Everyone was wrong in that situation. Like that, but that's just not me. It's not like I've not had words with somebody before, and I'm pretty sure the things I said to the person saying hateful things to me, I probably said hateful things back. And if those were posted out there, I'm sure I would be embarrassed by that. Yeah. But it's it's very sad. I'm very thankful that we didn't have that growing up.
Yeah.
I think we got bullied in person.
We did get bullied in person, but it was just so much of a different kind of bullying.
It was. Yeah. It still had an impact, but it was a lot different. So I don't know.
That's one of those things that as I'm 45 years old, I look back and I think to myself, I feel like I was always friendly to people, got along with people and everything else, but I probably subconsciously bullied a little bit.
Yeah.
Without and I don't mean being a dickhead to people. I just making jokes, like joking around, and it's like. When you look back on it, you're like, man, maybe that was bullying. And we just didn't call it bullying back then. Or, you were joking, you weren't being a jerk, and you weren't like, But then you start to think, well, what did that person think when they went home?
Right.
Or what did they say to their parents when they were talking about,
Right.
Kent said this or Kent said that. And, it's, what would you do all over again if you could change something? That probably would be one of those things I would change, because again, it was never like malicious, but you never know what you could say to someone that could have an impact on their life.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up with older brothers, and they were stepbrothers. And so when they came into my life, I was like 11 years old. And they teased me a lot, but it was, I was told, listen, like, that's how we interact with you. That's how we like you. If we're not teasing you, then, I don't really care for you.
Yeah.
And that's how I grew up. So that's how then I interact with people. Like if I'm joking with you and cutting up, I like you. I want to be friends with you. But if I'm just like indifferent towards you, then, that's how you know. But I mean, I do have to pay attention to that, because it is, perception is everything. It's all on how people take it. Now I was bullied, but I mean, I survived. Like nothing horrible, I suppose, ever happened. But
it's different nowadays, because instead of 2 girls bullying you at high school, you now have 50,000 people saying stuff and making death threats, and it's just so much different than it was back then, unfortunately. The biggest one is I quit playing basketball. I didn't love it that much, and I was like, bump this. I am not trying to hang out with these people and just be treated like this. So I'll just avoid at all costs. Yeah. Well, and I think the other thing that kind of came out was, I don't know if hypocrisy is really the right word, but maybe it is. I think you saw a lot of people saying things as though they have never done anything wrong, and they've never said anything evil, and they've never sent a text message that probably was out of line. I mean,
there's a lot of holier than thou behavior.
Yeah. And so I think that to me, as much as the threats and the conversation, like, to me, that was as big a piece of the story as anything. It's just like, man, come on, people. Like, that's why you need to just stay out of it. I mean, it's not like you've never done any of that stuff. Hell, right. I've done that stuff before. I mean,
well, and speaking of staying out of it, I mean, there's lots of different staying out of it, because you made a reel that had nothing to do with any of it, but your caption for the reel, and it all it said was, "This is not about this person. Watch my
because
reel."
Literally out of 100 Facebook posts that day, 99 and a half of them were about this person. So I made a reel, then it started like Annie just said, this is not about so-and-so. So go watch it, or whatever the case may be. And then it ended up blowing up. I mean, I think last time I looked, it had over 25,000
Yeah, but the point is like that still brought awareness to it. So even though you weren't really saying anything bad, it, in fact, was continuing the conversation.
Yeah.
And you and I had difference of opinions on that, because I think when you did it, I told you don't do it. Yeah. Like, I absolutely would.
And I thought, no, I'm not saying anything bad. I'm not engaging in the conversation, blah, blah, blah.
But to me, that was an engagement in the conversation.
Sure. And you understand how all that works a lot better than I do. I mean, I'm not a social media guru as much as you are, but hindsight, I should have listened. I had someone else that's actually friends with this person send me a message the night before and kind of said the same thing, that, hey, I understand that you're not, getting involved and you're not directly talking about it, but you are kind of perpetuating it. And I was like, I don't know. I don't really see it. Like, literally all I said is, this is not about so-and-so. So anyhow, the next morning, I guess I thought about some more and thought, okay, so I go and change the wording and all that stuff to still talk about my reel without, mentioning her, and just kind of went away from it completely. But it's so unfortunate when something like that happens, because especially when you live in a smaller town. I mean, obviously we're a lot bigger than we used to be. Man, people can just be absolutely hateful. Yeah. And they try to justify it by that person's actions. it doesn't matter what that person did. It's not your family member. It's not your spouse. And so you really have no business even talking about it. But
well, and that's, when Jackson first got his phone, I mean, that's some of the first conversations we ever had about, being responsible with it. One of, the text that you're sending, the pictures that you're sending, what you're looking at, like there's no hiding from it. I don't care who you think you're sending something to. Nothing is ever safe. And I think it probably came more so of, you're a student athlete, and if you are wanting to participate,
ever go to college,
like they're going to see everything.
And they
do deep dives, and they find it all. And so you got to be real responsible. And it is sad that you got to do all that. So that brings me back, because I don't even really have the whole know the whole deal, but we talked about Love Island last week. Well, a video was released of Kendall. Somebody released a video of Kendall. You remember Kendall, right?
With
Kendall
Nicole. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite couple.
Yes. They released a video that he, I guess, maybe sent to somebody, like a very personal, like, I think of his butthole.
Hold on.
I don't know. I don't know all the specifics.
First of all,
that's just what I heard.
Do not show that to me. No, I kind of want to see.
No,
I'm just
no. I think
Second
it was taken
of all,
down.
of his butthole.
That's what I heard. Anyway.
Well, when was it from, though? I mean, I guess
that's the point.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Since he went on there and he blew up, this person that he at one time must have trusted.
Yeah.
Took this video and released it online.
And shame on those people. I mean, shame on those people too, though, for trying to take advantage of someone being in a certain, like, that's just not right either,
it's
man.
Not. It's
it
really
doesn't.
sad.
Oh, that's so frustrating. But a butthole, I don't get that one.
Well, and I could be wrong. I could be completely saying the incorrect.
Well, see, now we're going to have to go verify that, because
well, that is true. I probably should verify that before we actually put that on here. But it was something related, something sexually, something that was a private situation.
We're going to use the word allegedly.
Alleged.
Yes.
That is great.
That's a legal term that will get us out of sale. Allegedly.
Allegedly that happened. Yeah. So anyway, it was a very eventful week, just around everywhere, I feel like. Online as well, in town, everywhere. Yeah. So the other thing that happened that has got a ton of people talking on Facebook, and I'm like, what's going to happen this week? Are we going to have a boring week this week? But anyway, and we didn't watch it, and I've still only seen bits and pieces of it, but the Olympics, the opening ceremony.
Yeah.
And I know
you're talking about Snoop Dogg, right?
I'm not talking about Snoop Dogg. I don't even know what part he played. I mean, I saw him.
I think he was one of the torch people, but I haven't seen it either. But
I thought there was only one torch.
No, there is, but they pass it along. It goes down multiple people, and they go. I'll go 100 yards with it and hand it to you. You go 100 yards and hand it. That's typically what it is. But.
Well, and also we were talking about the Olympics last week, and we were like, when do those start? And I think it had already started.
Yeah, or it was there. Yeah, I mean, we even said, I don't even think the Little League World Series just started. They're already going right now, too. Yeah. So
I don't know. We might need to.
We're behind a little bit. But anyhow, what you're referring to is this this picture or this act or whatever it was that I guess some people feel like was a mockery of the Last Supper.
Yeah, so they basically... okay, so first of all, the Olympics are in Paris. Paris is fashion week, right? Like Paris is fashion. Like that's, Mecca.
No holds barred
Mecca of
fashion.
The world.
Yeah.
And so, it's going to be a huge theatrical, I think, display to have the opening, ceremony go on. And so they did it was a show basically where they had drag queens, and they were down the line of a table, and then they had like models walking, and drag queens and models walking. This the table was like a runway. And so again, we didn't see it, but a lot of people have said that they thought it was making a mockery of
The Last Supper.
Yeah, The Last Supper. Is that Da Vinci?
Yes.
Da Vinci,
yeah.
the one that mockery of The Last Supper. And so I couldn't really say one way or the other. All I saw was a lot of people posting on Facebook about it, that, I'm a Christian and, I think this is making a mockery of me and of what I believe, and I'm not going to watch the Olympics and this and that and blah, blah, blah. So.
And I could see, without any other research, I could see why someone would think that was a depiction of the Last Supper, and therefore could say this is a mockery of it. I could see why that's the case, but apparently there's been other stuff come out where there was some specific art, I don't know, we can look at the name of it or whatever, that was originated in Greece, and that's where the Olympics originated, and it was actually a depiction of that. I think that they've interviewed the gentleman who was responsible for the opening ceremony, and he's like, look, I'm in no way at all, trying to make a mockery of the Last Supper. In fact, that wasn't even what I was thinking about. It wasn't even what I was doing. That wasn't my inspiration. And he kind of alluded to what his inspiration was. So I don't know. I mean, on one side of me, there's a number of things that this kind of brings to light. Number one is we're all very, very quick on social media to jump to conclusions before even seeing whether or not it's factual, remotely factual, if there's any relevance. I mean, we're all guilty of that to a certain extent, but unfortunately, once it's out there, it's like a wildfire, just takes off, right? So that's kind of one of it. And I will tell you, I'm a conservative Republican. I'm not like crazy conservative. But part of me, as a Christian, I'm somewhat proud that there are people who are kind of taking this stance, even though after I've researched and learned some more, I don't necessarily think it's a mockery of the Last Supper. I don't think it has anything to do with any religious connotation. I think it was completely separate, although I can understand why people would say that. Part of me is proud that the conservative group that was offended by this is kind of taking a stand, because I don't believe in cancel culture. I hate cancel culture, but damn if the other side, the liberals, don't get away with that for everything. You know what I'm saying? And so part of me is like, you know what? I'm kind of proud that there is a conservative group that's saying, look, we're going to cancel some culture too,
Yeah, I think it's tough, and I struggle because, one, I've never been one to be very political. I just don't care to know that much about it.
I'm not either.
I don't
overly.
And because I don't know a lot about it, I don't feel comfortable really discussing it, because I definitely don't want to say what I talk about stuff that I don't really understand or know. But I think everyone should be able to state their opinions and to do it in a way that you're on two opposite sides. You're going to disagree. Sure. You're just not going to agree, and it is okay to disagree. It's, you can agree to disagree, but I think we've gotten to a point where it's no longer okay to disagree. It's either, if you don't believe the way I believe, then I have no use for you. Yeah. And that's,
or you're an idiot, or you're
an idiot, or and to me, that's where things have really gone downhill and it's gone wrong, because I think everybody can have, and everybody's always going to have a different viewpoint, because it's always gonna be about what you've experienced in life.
Yeah. Well, and I think the biggest challenge comes into play where, people use very definitive words like, if you don't believe this, then so be it. Or if you believe one way, go ahead and unfriend me.
I hate those.
Because, and again, I don't think it was making a mockery of the Last Supper, but if there's a group who does not necessarily believe the same Christian beliefs that someone else does, in my opinion, I don't know that necessarily means I'm going to write that person off. That doesn't mean that, you're a terrible person because you don't have the same religious beliefs that I have. I mean, I have met atheists that are some of the best people I've ever met before. And honestly, they probably know more about the Bible than anyone I've ever met, because that is what they believe, and they have studied the Bible enough to say whether or not that they have the same, Christian beliefs. So I don't know, but I'm not one that really gets into, if you don't think like me, I'm sorry about your bad luck.
Yeah.
Now, it's going to be tough because we have election season coming up, and politics is that one thing that gets a lot of people fired up. And so if someone has a disagreement with my political beliefs, I'm perfectly fine with it. Like you, I'm not like a historian on politics. I try not to get too much into it, but it's when people start saying stuff like, you're an idiot if, or how could you if, and that's the kind of stuff that gets under my skin and kind of activates
because it can go both.
That
can go both ways. I know a lot of people don't like Trump, and that's completely fine. Just as many people didn't like Biden. Again, completely fine. But here's the thing: like, to me, none of these politicians are absolutely perfect, and none of them completely align with everything that I believe. Like, I was a small business owner, so I am going to be more drawn to people that are considerate of small business owners or the middle working class, because we've both worked our asses off. And so, that's important to me. Being in the boutique world like I was, and because I did buy things, unfortunately, that were manufactured overseas. I mean, that's just the way that it is, because things are too expensive to manufacture here, that you're forced into that. And so I shouldn't say forced into it. I mean, there are some options, but not a lot of good options. And it's because I don't know exactly what it's because. But anyway, that's going to have an impact on my decision. But I will tell you, the older I get, the more concerned I am with women's health. And there's no one out there at this particular point in time that is concerned about it to the level that I feel like they should be concerned about it too. And so that's where I struggle of, I need to take a little bit from everybody. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's hitting all the buttons for me.
It's just unfortunate the way our government is set up. It's one or the other, and
it is. And I don't like it.
And unfortunately, there's too many people who just buy into that. If an independent runs, it can be the best person ever for president, and the independent will never have a chance of winning, just because there's so many people who are just deep rooted in being Republican or being Democrat, and it's just. It's a sad state of affairs, and
my views have changed as I've gotten older, just like I said with the whole women's health thing. But even like the spirituality. Yeah, spirituality.
It's reason 8,423 to keep me around.
Yeah. Like, I've changed in what I believe as well, and and your beliefs like that come from your upbringing and who you were around and who taught you these particular things. And mine went through a transition from, what my mom and my dad believed because of the way they were raised, until, here comes Gary, my stepdad, believing something different. So now I'm being taught this as well. And I'm like, okay, hold on. This is a little confusing to me. And the older I get, I've had some other experiences, and I'm just like, I don't know that I fit into a particular box there anymore either.
Yeah. I think where I'm at, and I think you are probably to a certain extent, is I tell people all the time, like, I'm faithful, but I'm not religious. You know what I mean? And I think that the religion part is what causes a lot of confusion, or it has for me.
It has for me because
over the years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm, yeah.
Because
I think I am spiritual, but I don't necessarily believe some of the things that I was taught growing up about, like Baptist, for example, because that's what I was raised as, a Baptist.
Well, here's what I believe.
What do you believe?
You just need to be a good fucking person. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day,
treat people the way you want to be treated.
I mean, because there are people I have seen go to church their entire life, and they are some of the meanest people. And I'm like, how do you wrap your head around, you're saying that you're holier than thou and you're a Christian and you're all this other, but you treat people like crap.
Yeah.
You mock people, you ridicule people, You know, you do all, like, I don't, just be a nice person.
Yeah.
That literally is the only thing in my mind that you have to do. I do believe that you have to believe in God, but I think that you just have to be a nice person. And that's what's going to get you to heaven. When I say nice, I mean just doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So
we'll have to do a separate podcast on this because I think you and I have.
We may need to bring a guest in for that one.
We might need to bring a mediator.
Yeah.
No, because you are allowed to believe what you believe, and I can believe what I believe. It doesn't make me feel any differently towards you, but I think that we have some different beliefs than probably we did when we got married.
We could easily spend an hour just on this.
we
We've
could
talked
spend
about
so
this kind of
much
stuff
time.
quite a bit. So
We have.
Yeah.
And
Which I
when
enjoy
we talk
it.
about it,
Yeah.
I do too, because I'm not trying to talk about it in like trying to change your mind. It's literally just
And you have shared
interesting.
you have shared your thoughts with me, and I think that those thoughts have evolved, which the more I hear you talk about it, it helps my thoughts on it evolve too. So I'm probably right there with you a lot more than you realize. But again, my whole thing is just be nice. Just do the right thing and be nice to people. It's really that simple.
It is that
because
simple.
it gets. I mean, this whole situation with this girl that happened on the internet. Like, if you're really as good of a person as you say you are, like, why are you even getting involved in this? Like, why are you putting your 2 cents in and bullying and threatening and, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how is that right? How is that any better than what this girl said to the baby's mom or whoever they were? I don't even know the whole relationship. But anyhow, we'll get off that soapbox. That whole situation was terrible for our town, terrible for everybody involved. You know, terrible for the thousands and thousands and thousands of people that just got way too involved in it. When you start making those threats and stuff, that changes everything.
It was almost like the Risa Tisa or Reza Tez, which way ever you don't know what I'm talking about.
I remember that was the whole guy was scamming his girlfriend on the house.
I don't know how many days of my life that
quite
took.
A bit, yes.
But this was one of those situations. It took people at least 1.5 to 2 days of their life because they were not productive at all. I guarantee they were on Facebook the entire time.
Yeah, agree 100%.
It's crazy. So, I thought we would talk a little bit also about our favorite things. I think we mentioned that last week that we would talk a little bit about our favorite things.
Like products, you mean?
Yeah, I think just things maybe that we've used around the house. I think probably just because I've recently gotten these Pura air fresheners and I'm like, oh my God, these are amazing. So I really just kind of wanted, I'm like, well, why don't we just share some of our favorite things? Because we are moving into, well, I guess it's still July. We're not completely to fourth quarter yet, but it's coming up very close.
Yeah.
And
you think about gifts and stuff like that. Yeah,
gifts and I mean, people. They've already got. I know they got pumpkin stuff out at Hobby Lobby for sure, and they might already have Christmas. I haven't been over there in a while.
Well, I'll start with this.
What?
You know, I'm a Blackstone fan, right? Everybody probably has a Blackstone by now, but a couple of my favorite things on the Blackstone is I don't know how to explain it, but they're these little metal.
Say it.
braces that you screw into the back of your
this is
the
not what I was
Blackstone
thinking.
that you can actually stick your spatulas down into, right? Because before I got those, I would get grease and all that crap all over the side trays. But they actually just slide right down in there.
I think you need to preface this and say you have a Blackstone that was probably when it first came out.
Yeah.
So it
they
doesn't
didn't have a lot of the features.
Yeah,
That's true.
It
Very
doesn't
good
have
point.
a cover on it, like a lid on it, and all these things that some of the new ones might come with. I don't know.
But I would say though that thing, the little clip things or whatever you want to call them, they may make them like that. And now I don't know. But
I don't know.
If you don't have those, you absolutely need to go get those.
I thought you were going to say the magnet.
The magnet for what?
I thought you were just going to say the
Just to use
magnet.
Tim Beers, what's up, man?
The way
Tim Beers,
Who is Tim Beers?
I grew up with him. He has an irrigation company.
Shout out Tim Beers.
Tim Beers has an irrigation company.
Whether he wants to be associated with us or not.
No, he probably doesn't. No, but I remember when we used to play baseball, he used to say magnet, and me and Josh Grube used to give him a hard time about it. But I literally have said magnet.
Said magnet.
Magnet probably my entire life since high school.
Do you say it on purpose now, or do you have to think about it, or does it naturally come out now?
I think it naturally comes out, but I don't like push it down either. You know what I mean? Because somebody's like, "What did you just say?" I mean, it's gonna draw a conversation every time.
Yeah.
You know, but I naturally do it, but I expect it to be followed up with, "What did you just say? Did I hear what you just said?" So anyhow,
Yeah.
So what's your top
just
item?
Naturally just say it right after you because I know it's coming.
Yeah.
If you're fixing to say that word, I know it's magnet, and I'm just gonna magnet.
I gotcha.
Automatically gonna say it after you. So I have a couple of things. Is that all that you wanted to share?
I thought we were gonna go bounce off, but you go ahead. Go ahead.
No, we can bounce off. Okay, so the Pura air freshener, and I don't know how else to. I think that's all they offer is it's the air freshener. So it's a plug-in air freshener. It has an app. This app, you can set it for the day and times that you want this air freshener to run. And it's got the little clip-in, I don't know what they're called, the little oils that clip into it that make it smell good. And so on your app, you can say, okay, I want it to run. So like I have ours set to run in the morning from like 8 until 10, and then again from like noon until 1, and then in the evening from like 6 to 8. I kind of do it around when we're maybe cooking so that if we're making something that, like garlicky or something like that, that it has the smell good. But I only had one because I went to Jackson and Ashley's house, and when I walked in, they had the volcano scent, which is my very favorite. It's the only scent that I sold basically at the store, and it's my favorite scent ever. And so they had that going. As soon as I walked in, I was like, oh, I know that scent. And I'm like, where's that coming from? And she showed me the Pura, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And so I looked it up, and I was like, okay, I'm going to order one of these. I waited until, I think it was like Memorial Day when I got it, and so I got it like a set on sale. So I got like the Pura air diffuser thing free with the 2 oils.
Right.
But they set it up to auto ship. You can buy it just once, but they set it up to auto ship every 30 days. So you've always got the oils in. And I absolutely love it. And the fact that it's the not remote control. It's got an app that you can set it so it doesn't go all the time. Because the ones you get from like the store, you plug it in, it's like it goes. There's no way it lasts for 30 days because it's just going and going and going. Now, how does this one not go? I don't really know that. But I do know when I walk by, I can smell it when it's on and should be pushing it out. So it's my fave. So if you have anybody who is maybe getting married or, building a house, and you got to take some sort of gift, take that. That is my fave. And I think we're going to try to add the links down below for these things as well.
Yeah, I would say if we're going to go back and forth with each other.
I was like, what are you doing? You're searching for what it is?
Yeah, the name brand.
Okay.
Because, we take our dogs to the groomer, Posh Paws in Warner Robins, Georgia. Shout out. Rachel Sanders, shout out. She's the one who does our dogs. But anyhow, obviously, we bathe our dogs in between groomings probably, every week and a half, 2 weeks maybe.
They got bathed today.
Yeah, they did get bathed today.
Clean
but anyhow,
sheets, clean doggies.
So I sent something to Rachel and Beth a while back and said, hey, look, like this, I got this hair dryer brush thing, which by the way works really well. It's a hair dryer and brush combo. It works well, but it just takes forever. So I sent them, I was like, what is the best groomer level hair dryer? And they sent me a few options, but there's this company called Vevor, Vevor. And it's a high-powered one.
It is high-powered.
Yeah, I mean, it comes with several different attachments.
I tried to find the video where you took it, you unboxed it,
yeah.
And like I was literally, I had to have been a yard or 2 away from you, and it was still blowing.
Let's try about 10 yards away. Yeah,
was that 10 yards away?
Yeah, I mean, it literally goes all the way across the bathroom. And when you first turn it on, it's this terrible whistle until you figure out how to hold the hose or whatever. But Blakely, fortunately, will allow me to use it on her, but I bet it easily cuts drying time in half, if not more than that. She just kind of sits back and she doesn't like it around her head. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do that. But anyhow,
I think because it's so loud.
Yeah,
and if maybe you held it back some.
Maybe, but if you have a dog and you groom your own dog at the house in between groomings or
totally
whatever, just trust me on this. I can't remember what I paid for, probably $100 or something, but worth every penny.
And we have Bishpoos.
Yeah.
Which is a poodle mix.
A Bichon and a poodle mix.
People think they're little mini doodles. They're not mini doodles.
Well, they are doodles.
Well, okay, sure.
Any mix of a poodle is a doodle. People always think a doodle is a golden doodle or a labradoodle, but any dog that's
mixed with a poodle. So is a doodle just a dog poodle?
Just a mix with a poodle. I've researched it before because I get tired of people saying, they're a doodle, sure, but we call them Biff Pooth. I got my little Biff Poo up here.
My little Biff Pooth. Okay, so
you want to come pet my little Biff Poo?
No. So second favorite thing is also centered around the dogs. This is not, I didn't mean for this to be
What are you about to say?
dog centric.
Yeah. We're obsessed with our dogs, by the way, in case you can't tell.
We kind of are obsessed with our dogs. No, my second one is the cabinet downstairs that I got to organize all of the dog stuff because we are very regimented as far as we take them out in the morning to go out for a short walk so they can go to the bathroom, and at night, and we bring them in. We're religious about wiping their paws because for those of you that have dogs and they just let them out in the yard and they walk through God knows what, possibly their own poop if you don't pick it up, like, that's disgusting to me. So we wipe their paws.
No judging.
No, I'm judging. We wipe their paws every single time they come in the house, basically, and then the treats are in there. Plus
leashes,
we
towels,
got leashes,
hair brushes, everything.
Yeah, all of that junk. So,
but everything has a spot, which I like.
It does, because before it was kind of all just thrown there at the
there.
front door, and it looked like junk central. So got this cabinet, got it off of Amazon. It was not hard to put together, and it's perfect.
It looks great. It has a little vintage vibe to it too.
It's in our dining room because our dining room's right there by the front door.
Yeah.
So, you would never know that's what houses all the dog stuff.
Yeah.
So I love it because I could decorate the top of it and it looks very pretty. It's aesthetically pleasing. But when you open it up inside, it's all organized. I've got baskets.
That's the part I love.
I do love that.
Everything has a spot.
I am somewhat in an organization era. You would not know it by looking at my office right this second, but I do love some organizational stuff.
Yeah, so we'll post the links. Once you like and subscribe, you can also go to those links and order something. And, we got to make a little money off this podcast because we have to pay for these microphones and these Ryan Seacrest
Joke's on
arms
you.
and lights.
These links will be there regardless.
Oh, okay. Well, even if you don't order, we're still putting them there.
We would just love
it really
for
would be
you
pretty
to
cool.
like
yeah.
and subscribe.
I'm really
That
just
would be
messing
amazing.
around ordering stuff, but but we really do like those things. That's why we're bringing them up to you guys. So.
And we said we were going to do 3, so I am going to do 3.
Go ahead with your third one.
My third one is just the organizational stuff. I am
Yeah.
into the clear acrylic containers. Whether I have them right now in my desk, if you open,
I got my third.
Okay. If you open my desk, you would see them. If you open our pantry, you will see them. If you look in my bathroom, you will see them. Like, I have them all over the entire house, and I am obsessed with them. I love it. Love it.
Just think of all those years you gave me hell for me wanting to be organized. You take a guess. I'm gonna give you one quick.
Oh,
I'm gonna give you 3 seconds to see if you know
No.
what my number 3 is. 1, 2,
I don't know.
3. So Annie, about a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago, introduced me to these copper tongue scrapers. And I thought, okay, whatever. But it was like you buy 2, you get, one for the cost of 1 or whatever. I was like, okay, whatever, stupid. So anyhow, she tells me you're supposed to use it first thing in the morning. That's when all these toxins, if you don't do it first thing in the morning, toxins go back into your body, so forth and so on. And I was like, okay, I'm going to play along. And I did it first day. I scraped my tongue 5 times. And I don't know if it's toxins coming out of me or not, but the shit looks weird.
It's disgusting.
It really is. I mean, I'm a mouth
comes off
sleeper
your
too.
tongue
I'm a
is
mouth
gross.
sleeper too, so my mouth is, automatically dry. But I and y'all probably gonna think this is gross. I have never been one to jump out of bed and go brush my teeth. Of course, I brush my teeth every day, but I do it after the shower, whatever. I kid you not, now that I got this tongue scraper and I'm trying to get rid of my toxins, I immediately get out of bed, go scrape 5 times, brush my teeth, and I feel like a brand new man. And then I get in the shower and I'm like, you know what? I just saved myself some time because I've already brushed my teeth.
But did you save time?
And
here's the difference between us. You do 5. Absolutely, will not do anything other than
Of
5.
course
And
not.
if you get thrown off, you probably have to go do 5 again. Don't
I
you?
haven't, but that probably would be the case. So now,
Whereas I'm just like, yeah, that seems good. I'll stop.
So now when Annie and I go, like when, she gets out of bed or whatever, or I haven't, I've gone to the gym, come back, our question before we kiss is, have you gotten rid of your toxins?
That's right.
Because she will do the same thing. I don't think she's jumping out of bed and doing it the very first thing either. But anyhow, that's another cool little thing. I swear I feel like it makes a difference. I don't know how, but it makes me feel different, I suppose.
It doesn't make me feel any different, but it is gross stuff that you're cleaning off your
Yeah.
tongue. So,
Yeah.
but and we need to get that foot one and try it because you
Oh, that
sent
was
me that post.
disgusting.
It was disgusting
Yeah.
too. And so
I don't even want to see what's coming off yours.
we can do like an at-home one. Like I think they have like home.
I think that's the
remedy
one
ones.
I sent you. That's what it was.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure hers had an Amazon link, but which is fine.
Which means you can order it from Amazon.
Yeah, but I think hers was like an ion thing,
Yeah.
whereas I think you can do like home remedy
Oh,
ones with
okay.
like the Epsom salts and stuff
I
like
feel
that.
you. I got you. Yeah,
So,
we'll
I don't
figure
know.
that out. But anyways, yeah, the whole toxin out of the bottom of your feet thing, that's apparently a thing too. So
Yeah, that'll be very interesting
Yeah.
to see. It'll look like my drain with the hair clogged in it.
I hope you don't have hair coming out of the bottom of your feet.
I don't know. It's scary. Okay. Well, anyway, it's getting late.
We packed a lot into this episode.
We did.
I think we had somewhat of an agenda, but I
Look.
feel like we got into more than we thought even.
We probably did. And look at the babies over there.
Yeah.
They're just sleeping away.
They were
Oh my
like, "Are y'all done already? We're
God.
ready to go to bed."
They are ready to go to bed. Okay, well, I love you guys.
I love you.
I hope that I love you.
And thank you for making me do this podcast. I've enjoyed it so far.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Now we got to get you moving on your own.
Podcast? No. I see how difficult it is for you to get this shit set up.
Right,
Could you imagine? I would have done thrown something by now, but
Oh my God.
but anyhow, I've enjoyed it. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope y'all continue to listen to us.
Yeah. Oh, so that's actually a good thing. I'm glad you said that. So you can find us wherever you listen to your podcast, or at least that's my hope. I don't 100% know if we're on Spotify yet. I had to submit that, but we should be on Apple and then the regular podcast. But you can also find us at Life's Little Arguments on Instagram. And we would love for you to DM us there any comments that you have. If you love these, if you hate them, if you love me, if you hate me, whatever, don't care. Any of that is great conversation. And then if you have any questions or anything that you want to send in to us for us to talk about, it's lifeslittlearguments@yahoo.com. That is the email for right now until we get a website up and going, and that is future phase because Mama still got somewhat of a day job. So anyway, but you can find us for sure on Instagram at Life's Little Arguments.
All right, love you guys, man.
Love you guys. Bye.